first of all, we've had nothing for a while from Spain regarding the property. We thought it was all kind of dealt with, but we thought it might come back and bite our bum. And then we got the letter from that Axator for requesting the money. It was in Spanish, obviously. So we had it translated. And we was panicking then. We thought, we're going to have to pay this full amount of this money and just get rid of it because it was causing a lot of worry. And then a friend of ours said, have you had a look online and they recommended you? They haven't used you, I don't think, but they recommended you. They said, well.
No, she just typed in Spanish debt. You came up, so she just sent me the link. So I went on and read through that. That's basically how we got to know about you.
And how long had it been since you had any contact or anything to do with the property kind of before you got that letter?
Oh God, years.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I'd say 4 or 5 years.
Out of the blue kind of then just came up.
Could be longer than that.
Okay, very good, no problem. And then next sort of, well, I suppose I've already kind of covered that. What was it that made you want to appoint us? What was it about our service sort of, or when you spoke to Natalie first, or Liam, whoever it was you had spoken to, that kind of made you put trust in us? Because I know, as I said, a lot of our clients struggle with the trust thing because you kind of have been burnt before with things like Exactor and all. So
I must admit that was a problem for us, the trust thing, because you'd think we'd had all these problems in Spain. The lawyer that dealt with us, who's a Spanish lawyer who speaks English, who's from Liverpool, he led us down big time. We sent the letter through to him and never got back to us. We've rang his office, rang his Spanish office, rang his mobile, and he never returned any of our calls. So our trust was on a real law with anything to do with Spain, property, anything. It's just when we had the Zoom call with, who was the first person we spoke to? Was it Liam, first of all? And Liam said that, you know, we've dealt with this kind of recovery thing before. We've dealt with Axator before, and that kind of put us ease a little bit. Obviously, I had a look at it on the website as well. A look at what you do and that, and some of the comments, and then we then got through to somebody else. Somebody else was the next one.
No, it was Natalie.
Natalie.
Next.
And all the way through, it seemed professional. You told us straight away how much it was going to cost us. The other thing we did doubt and we worried about was you said that how much you could reduce the debt by. And I must admit, we thought
it was too good to be true.
Can't see that happening. Can't see you doing that. And then, but then we asked that question, and we was told that, you know, that they buy these in bulk, these debt people off the banks, and they buy them for, I think he said 10 pence in the pound. Something, I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was quite cheap. He said, so there is a deal to be done, and we can do that deal, and we have done it before, and you just have to put your confidence in us, and we will get you a reduced fee.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that, did say it would be
between 10 and 20%.
Between 10 and 20%. But obviously, the lower that you can get it, the more that you make, because you take a percentage of what we say, don't you? So it's in your interest. That was one of the things we thought, well, that's good, because it's in your interest to try and get it as low as you can, because then you make more money, don't you, off what we say. So yeah, but going back to your original question, we did have a lot of worries and concerns, and like you said, the trust thing's a big thing. And if you're already in debt with somebody who's coming after you, to pay somebody else to try and get rid of that debt for you or reduce that debt for you is a big trust thing, isn't it? So yeah, we did have a few issues with that, I must admit.
And we've never been in this situation before anyway. We just tried to get hold of our initial solicitor for 2 weeks, and he just was not getting back to us. So we were just like Dave said, we were already like, what we're going to do. But so yeah.
Well, that's kind of what I said to you on the phone earlier. Like, this is why we were asking, or we were so glad to hear that you were willing to give a bit of feedback like this, because so many people in the same position as you who've, you know, either been cheated by developers or banks, solicitors, estate agents, everybody pretty much. So I can understand, I always do understand why it seems like it's a big thing to be paying that much money for a leap of faith, kind of almost. So that's why we do stuff like this, just to try and reassure people a bit, because I think there's nothing more helpful than seeing people who have actually benefited like yourselves from it, from the work Natalie does.
The biggest plus for us was that Natalie was somebody would talk to us for a start and give feedback to us when we rang them or emailed them, and that Natalie kept us updated all the time, which was a big plus, because you worry, thinking this is too good to be true. Are we really going to get it reduced? Is it going to get sorted? And she kept getting back to us, and every time we rang her with a query, she always got straight back to us the next day, if not that day, the next day. Which is, when you're worrying about something as much as we've worried about this, because it's a debt, isn't it? And you're worried that they're going to come and have a go at your house, have a go at your assets over here. And for once, somebody got back to us and replied to us, and that was a big plus. And I think there's not many people do that anymore.
Yeah.
They promise it, but they don't do it.
Yeah, 100%. Well, that kind of leads in. The next question I had for you was about sort of the overall process. I suppose that kind of answers that almost to an extent. In terms of, you'd said about Liam as well, in terms of sort of initial process or the first part where you were discussing your case and doing probably a consultation with Liam, I think, did you?
Yeah.
Was there anything about that in particular that was, you probably already sort of answered this, but anything additional to that that you thought was particularly good or?
No, it was very reassuring. The fact, the first person we spoke to was saying that, we've dealt with these things a lot. We will sort it for you. Put your mind at ease, don't worry, we will sort this for you. And we were told that normally these debt companies, especially in Spain, that they take quite a while in responding. And we was told that it could get to December before we get any kind of reply. And then after Natalie kept us in touch and said that this girl she was dealing with at Axetor was obviously on the ball and was getting back quite quickly to us. So it's been dealt with very, very quickly, which is better for us. We don't have to worry much longer, you see.
Okay, great, no problem. And then last question, just about the settlement itself. What was the general feeling or the reaction whenever you got the call saying that the case had been settled, everything was sorted?
Relief.
Too good, massive relief, and too good to be true. That's why we kept harassing Natalie, saying, "Can we have that letter from Maxtor, please, saying it's all settled?" We need to see that first before we can sleep proper.
I think it was every day we was emailing. Have you got the letter yet? Have they got the money yet?
It's relief. That's good. That's good. That's all we want to do. Kind of that's what we're here for. And hopefully, like I say, we can use this video and maybe get some other people who are in a similar position, because we're getting a lot of people now who are literally the exact same position. Those Exeter people are just firing out letters constantly. There's dozens of people coming to us now saying the exact same thing as yourselves, just out of the blue, letter in Spanish.
I think the problem you're going to have is that trusting, like you say, telling people that you deal with these companies a lot and you can reduce it from this to this. And you've got a massive reduction for us, didn't you? Yeah. To get people to believe that is quite hard, really.
Well, that actually is my. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I said you wanted to tell you what we actually, what the debt was and what we actually saved. Would that
Your
be?
grand, I have the. But if you want to tell me what you said, yeah, that would be. Yeah.
Do you want to tell them what? How much the debt was?
I thought do you not know?
No, it's video in it, you see. So.
All right. Well, we actually paid €10,000, which was £8,812, I think, and the debt was €59,900.
Okay.
So you did what you said.
It was very shocking. Yeah, a very good result for us, really, a very good result. And I bet there's very few people who've been happy to pay you £6,500 what you've done, plus the initial fee we gave you. But no, massive relief. Massive
savings, and just the end of it now. We can just get on with our lives now and just not worry about it. We don't owe anybody anything now. That's done, sorted. Yeah. So yeah.
No, it is nobody ever wants to pay the retainer, but they're always happy at the end of it. Yeah. It's always the same way. That's why, like I said, it's so helpful to have people like yourselves here. Because whenever somebody's in the same position as you, we can say to them about you, the two of you, and it does just brings that trust up kind of and builds that rapport with us. I did actually have one last question. I'll probably edit this bit out because I don't know if I want the public to hear this. Was there anything that we could have done differently or better in the process for you? Anything in particular that you could think of that we could improve on for future clients or anything like that?
I can't think of anything, because you did tell us from the start what you could do, how much it would cost us. We had to email us that agreement that we read and signed and sent back, so everything was laid out. But the only bit
done straight away as well.
No, I can't think of anything you could do better. It's just that it's hard for somebody to believe, like me and my wife, that you could reduce the debt by so much. That's the thing you're going to struggle with new clients, because they're going to think, I don't believe this. But it's quite a big reduction, and we was told that from the start, that you've dealt with these kind of people before and there is a deal to be done, but it's getting people to understand that and believe it. Maybe some negative feedback I would do, but I can't think of
anything. The main thing I think for somebody in this position that I've just been through is people actually talking to you and getting back to you straight away. Because when you send an email and you're worrying and nobody gets back to you for days, it makes it worse. But what we didn't have that. As soon as we sent an email, within a day there was a response, and that's all people can ask for.